Good morning, everybody. So good to see all of you. You were just with your son-in-law, who's writing this? Amy, and other little granddaughter. They didn't have COVID. Oh my gosh. So, please God, your 7-month pregnant daughter doesn't get it. I'm davening with you. Amen to your prayer. Blessed and stressed. Sounds just about right. Friends, family, welcome everybody. Let's look at one part of the Parsha that we haven't discussed at all this week, the construction of the ark itself. Now, there are numerous challenges when you look at the Torah, when you look at the Bible. One of them is taking it historically literally, which I don't do. That's not what the Torah is there for. As the great late Rabbi Jonathan Sacks said, Torah is not there to tell you how, meaning history, and let's say how the world was created. The Torah is here to tell us why. Why? Why the world? Why humanity? How should we act? Not how did the world get created. The Torah is not about science. So when you look at the dimensions of the ark as described in this week's Parsha, this many cubits by this many cubits, that's not the point, because how literally can we take the command to bring two of every kind of animal and creepy crawly thing into an ark? That ark must be not just cavernous, it must be as big as the world. The world itself, friends, the world itself deserves to be thought about like the ark. How would you construct something to be safe for all things? It's not the how, it's actually the why. Shouldn't we construct this world to be safe for all things? When you look at the Parsha itself, the description of how to build the ark, it's 3 levels. Each level has compartments. And then there's this very interesting command, which we barely ever pay attention to. Tzohar ta'aseh, says the Hebrew. Make, one translation is window. That's probably what it means. Make one window, 1 cubit from the top of the ark, and make 1 door. Just let that in for a second and think about what we've shared today. The ark is going to be 3 levels, 3 floors. Every living creature will be represented, not just for 40 days and 40 nights of rain, but for 40 days, 40 nights of rain, 150 days of the waters swelling, 150 days of the waters receding, and then another few days until the dove comes back with an olive leaf in its mouth. That is 350 or so days in an ark that is 3 stories with 1 door and 1 window. 1 window. Now, let's just deal with it on the pshat level, on the contextual level, taking the story seriously and working within its rules. 1 window, friends, for all of those creatures for more than 350 days. 1 window for 1 day with all those creatures, and 1 door. Now, we can be silly and talk about how it must have smelled, or we can just say, this seems unfathomable. And so for the rabbis of the Midrash, they expanded the notion of the Tzohar, not to be a window, but to be a magic illuminated gem that cast enough light everywhere. 1 spark of light illuminated it all. Think about what this means. Think about how it is to function as a human being in the world, in your family, which means all of us, and to cast the light that you magically can. You have within you a spark of the divine. That Tzohar is not an external reality, it's an internal gift, meant to be channeled through you into a world so that it can be constructed as a place safe for all things. The Tzohar is understood in lots of ways. In fact, in Israel today, there's an organization called Tzohar, which is a group of modern Orthodox rabbis who are functioning in Israeli society, recognized by the government as legitimate to conduct weddings. The fact that only Orthodox rabbis can perform weddings is problematic. That's a different topic. But these modern Orthodox rabbis are trying to make weddings more enjoyable for couples who would otherwise choose to leave Israel to have the wedding that they want without the enforcement of the rabbinate. And so here's what I want to say for this moment. Not only is it true for me that the Torah is meant to show us why, so that we can make decisions based on the best impulses of creation, but it is also the case that sometimes there is something so small in our world that it can change everything for the better, and its emergence is nothing short of miraculous. Just last night, I was blessed, as were two of my children, to get our boosters, the new and upgraded COVID boosters and flu shots. And I hope that you will too. And I got very emotional. I got very, very emotional sitting there. And the phlebotomist, I think is the right term, who was giving me the shots, saw that I was worked up and gave me comfort. She was very silly. And not only was the vaccine that she was giving me nothing short of a tzohar in the world, a very small thing that makes the world safer for all things. Not only was she acting in such a way, when you have that little bit of light and you've emerged from a time or situation of darkness, suddenly the miracle gets more miraculous. And I found myself traveling through time, remembering conversations that we have shared, examinations of the Torah when there was no vaccine to speak of. We've been through a lot, friends, and a spark of light is in the world waiting to illuminate it all. And that can mean anything. What is the tzohar that you see? You. Science. Love. Tzedek, doing good. This world is waiting for the light that you can bring, friends. So I'm blessing you with that inner strength, with that inner joy, and to look at NOACH, the parsha we've been studying for this week and we'll read in shul tomorrow, as something truly spectacular. It's unfathomable. But the Torah is not there to show us science. The Torah is there to open our hearts to the why of the world. It's so precious to think about these things. And the Torah doesn't let us off the hook from it, which is a gift too. May you find light this Shabbat, inside of you and out, and find a small thing to bring the world forward in a way that only you can. Thank God. Thank God. So, let's go in, friends. Let's go into Shabbos with each other, with whole hearts. Bless you, friends. Shabbat Shalom. See you on Monday.